Hello, welcome to the fall semester here at Manor College. My name is Ed Moulton. I'm going to be your instructor from MH203 Statistics. I want to give you a chance to see the surroundings here. This is in my basement where I installed a whiteboard so that I could record videos for you guys going over any of the classwork that we're doing and showing you basically step by step how to do different problems that you're going to be asked to do online. I'm also going to host classes remotely from this location on Mondays where you'll be able to interact with me, ask me questions, and work through a series of problems with me live. If you're not able to attend live, it's perfectly fine to watch the video after the fact, but the best way to get one-on-one interaction with me immediately is by doing it through these live sessions. I absolutely am good about getting back to you by email if you have questions. There's a great system set up through Cengage where you can ask your teacher questions directly through their system. I'm wonderful at getting back to them relatively quickly, so don't be alarmed if you want to take the class fully online and can't make the exact times. That's still definitely doable, but anybody who can make the classes, I look forward to interacting with you and helping you through the problems that you have. I want to switch now from this environment where I'm talking to you and in front of this whiteboard to an online environment where you can kind of see what the class page looks like. I'm going to take you through the syllabus, I'm going to take you through how I want the course to be digested, how it's presented, and some first things that you should be doing as we get ready to start the course. At the end of this, there's going to be a quick quiz on the information presented in this getting started video, just to make sure that we're on the same page, that you know how to get started with the class. It's absolutely going to count towards your grade, and in general, if you watch the video, you should get a perfect score. By looking at your Canvas page, here we are in your modules page. The way that I get there is I go to your course Canvas page, and then I click modules. You're going to see something different than me. You should just see the stuff with the green published. So within this important course information, you should be seeing the policies, the academic success strategies, and then once I finish making this video, I'm going to publish this welcome to statistics, which is hopefully what you click to view this video. Within this welcome to statistics, it's going to have the video that I haven't posted yet because I'm making it now, and then it's also going to have some questions about what you see in the video. So the first question is, what's the main tab I should be using to work through the material in this class? The main tab you should be using is this modules tab. This modules tab gives you a gateway to everything that I want you to see in the class. When I click back on this modules tab, I can scroll down and see the way that the course is going to be organized. So this important course information really is what we're starting with, what we're using to get ready to do the course. This is where the course begins with the first module, descriptive statistics. If you click on the very first thing in descriptive statistics, it's a page called variables and data and graphs for categorical data. Once I click on it, then it's going to bring up this page that has 4 tabs. The first tab is the objectives tab. It tells you what I want you to learn from the lesson we're going to do. The next tab is the PowerPoint lecture tab. When I click on that tab, this page has 2 different lectures in it. Most pages only have 1, but the way that this is organized is the very first link. If I click it, goes to the slides. I can download them. Basically, this is the full presentation of the first lecture. Directly below that is a YouTube video of me giving the first lecture. So if I click play, I should be able to do it in Canvas. And once this loads, you'll see me last year.
Where our statistics class begins is with variables and data. Really, I like to tell students that this first unit is going to feel more like a social studies class. There will be some math involved, but the math is going to get.
Down below is the second PowerPoint and the video to it. So again, this is within the tab PowerPoint lecture in any of these pages. If I click on video examples, this is always going to be something I found on YouTube that's another professor going over the same general information. My PowerPoints will be specific to your book and to the types of questions you're going to be asked, so they're definitely a better resource to get ready to do the homework and things that I'm asking you to do in the class. But sometimes it can be good to get another voice to kind of tell you the same information if it's not quite clicking in the way that I'm presenting it. So I always include some extra things there to view if you want, if you need some extra information on the topic that we're covering. The last tab, in my opinion, is the most important one. It's the classwork tab. This classwork tab gives you two Word documents, one on each of the two lectures that are here, where if I click on them, it's going to have questions exactly like the types of questions you'll be asked to do on homework. My hope would be that you click on these classworks, that you look at what's there and basically attempt them, or if you look and see that you understand it, you don't necessarily have to do every problem, but it's good to kind of look at it, see if you gather what you got from the lecture, and try some of the problems. The hope is that after trying them, you'll go back to the module, and the very next thing that you'll see is videos of me going over all the classwork questions. So there's variables and data videos. If I click on that page, there'll be links to YouTube of me doing the exact problems that are in that classwork. So it's going to be me at a whiteboard with all the questions written up.
All right, so my plan for the semester is for me to go over any of the problems from the classwork and these YouTube videos that I upload so that hopefully you guys can try the classwork first on your own, see where you struggle, watch the videos, have me go over the concepts you weren't sure on, and then that'll lead right into the Cengage homework. So here is the first few questions from the first.
So if I go back to the module, this is the way that the course is organized, how I'm hoping you learn through the virtual materials. So first, you click, look at the lecture videos, attempt the classwork on your own. Then you watch videos about how to do the classwork. This is the actual assignment that you'll be graded on. So you never turn in that classwork. That classwork is just there as a learning tool to show you how things are done in the course. The actual grade for homework comes from clicking on this link where it has a date and a point value within the module. This link will take you outside of the Canvas page to Webassign. So if I click on it here, it's already going to be linked. So it'll open it in a new window if I want. I'm not going to open it in a new window because I'm more concerned with you guys seeing in the window I have open. I want to make sure I don't show anything I shouldn't when I open that. So if I go to where it would take you to Webassign, this is what it looks like for me as an instructor. You can see that there are going to be, for your class, MH203, 34 total assignments. If I click all, you can see all of them with their due dates. All of this is on the syllabus as well that I'm going to go over, but basically, this is where 80% of your grade in the class is housed, is by doing the homeworks, the tests, the final exam, all through this Webassign platform. So it's very important that you link your Canvas page to Webassign. The way that you're going to do that is you're going to click on this first assignment within the module. When you click on that assignment, it should redirect you to a page that lets you put in your Cengage login. You have a Cengage login. When you paid your tuition for Manor College, it included a subscription to Cengage Online, which is the platform that hosts Webassign and where all of the homework is for the class. When you click this link for the first time in your Canvas, you put in your Manor email, your Manor password. It has to be the one that you were originally issued. If you've changed it since then, go back and find the information that was given to you with your original Manor email, login, and password. It should already have a created account on Cengage Webassign where once you put that information in, it links the classes. And now, whenever you click on an assignment of mine in Canvas, it takes it to the linked Webassign. This was a difficult step for many students. It was something where you may have to talk to IT, you may have to talk to Cengage if you're having issues. It should be as easy as putting in the credentials that you were given. That's what it is for 80% of students, but for another 20% of students or so, there's all sorts of headaches and problems that I genuinely do not have the tools to fix. And I'll redirect you to IT, I'll redirect you to Cengage Online Support, which is very good, but you're going to get frustrated, and I apologize. I am very frustrated as well when this happens. I want to do everything I can to get you access to the homework, but please fight through it. Please make sure that you're trying to get this done by the time the first homework's due, which is Wednesday, 15th of September. So right now, get out in front of it best you can. Hopefully it links easily, but if there are problems, email me. Let me help you work through the problems. The next thing here is graphs for qualitative data, and graphs for categorical data that would open in Webassign. So this time you can see the videos for the classwork for graphs for qualitative data, which went along with the above, and then you can see the homework that goes along with that. Just to click on what a homework's going to look like. So if I click on this variables and data, the very first homework, when it comes up, see that the types of questions are something like define the experimental unit for the variable described below. Gender of student. The correct experimental unit for gender of student is the student. So you would click here on the students and you can submit that question. All the questions should look very similar to what I'm doing in the lecture and definitely similar to what I'm doing in the classwork. When you enter and submit your answers, it'll be graded within the system. You will get credit for the questions immediately, but you also can go back and fix ones that you got wrong. For any of these homeworks, you have the opportunity to do each question 5 times, so it gives you 5 attempts. My recommendation is you do the first attempt, you submit it. For things you got wrong, maybe look, see if you can figure out what went wrong, try it a couple times. But if you've used 3 attempts and you're still getting it wrong, email me with an Ask Your Teacher message. So the way that Ask Your Teacher messages work within Student View, let me see if I can open Student View here. It should be the case that when you open an assignment, you see these little red things. So if I click on this red thing, first I would have had to link it. That's why it's not letting me access it. Um, there will be times where, because it's past due, you'll see a little red arrow like this. You can click request extension. I will extend any homework assignment in the class. It's not a problem to get extensions on those. I will not extend any test for any reason. All the test dates are hard due dates that must be hit in the class. If you miss a test, you can no longer take that version of the test. I'm going to put it in as a 0. There will be an alternate version of the test that I can make available if somebody has a serious illness or other reason that they can't take the test. But believe me, you are much better off trying to make the due dates of the test. The course gets much quicker as time goes on, and it's very hard to catch up if you fall behind. So do the best you can to make these course due dates. Let me go into the module and show what happens after that in week 1. So after you do these 2 assignments, then you have a discussion board and an in-class assignment. The discussion board is always something that you get full credit for if you attempt it. So my goal here is to have you using some of the things that we're learning in the class in real life situations. So here I'm having you design an experiment. I always am going to show you how I want it done as an example within the discussion board post. So this that I'm highlighting here is what I would want you to type up and answer for your specific situation. So I want you to tell me what you want to know and then set up. Here's what the variable of interest would be. Here's what the experimental unit would be. Here's what the population would be. Here's what the sample would be. Then do it again for a quantitative example. These discussion board posts are worth 10% of your grade, and the only way to get points off is if you don't attempt them. You get full credit for doing something completely wrong. Goal here is for you to show me what you think is going on and have me then correct it if there's math errors or if there's errors in statistical thinking, but still give you full credit for the attempt. So anybody who turns it in on time gets a 10 out of 10 on these assignments. You will get comments which correct any errors that you've made so that you understand the material better, but it's purely a effort grade. If you do it, you will get credit. Underneath that is another effort grade, which is the in-class assignments. The way that the in-class assignments work is every Monday, I'm going to host a live session through Echo 360. These live sessions will run from 11 a.m. till 12:15. If you can make them, that's great. If you can't, you can always view them after the fact. Within these live sessions, I'm going to do the exact problems I'm asking you to do on the quiz. Question 1, define the experimental unit for the variable below. name the company that produced this dose of vaccine. I will do this exact problem on camera for you so that if you watch the video, you will literally have the exact right answers. So in the in-class assignments, even though they're presented as quizzes in Canvas, really they're just asking you to basically take notes as I go over the information, either live with me or in the video that's posted after the live session is over, and to answer the questions the way that I answered them on the board in front of you. The hope is that people can make the live sessions, can use the chat window within the live sessions to ask questions about what I'm doing, to let me help you with anything you're struggling on in the class. But it's completely fine if you cannot make those class times. You absolutely will have all the materials you need in order to be successful in the class. The only difference is you won't be able to get that immediate feedback about a question you have. You may need to wait an hour or two for me to get back to you by email. I've had a lot of people emailing me asking me, hey, I have a conflict. If I can't make the live class time, is that going to be an issue? It is not going to be an issue. You absolutely can do the class asynchronous. Let me click on the syllabus and take you through some of that stuff. Actually, before I do that, let me just show you the end of the module. So this is week two, really, or week one, however you want to see it. The first week is just this getting started video, then the full week of the course, Wednesday to Wednesday, we cover all this. The second full week of the course, Wednesday to Wednesday, we cover this material. The third week of the course, we cover this material, and then the fourth week of the course, we have our first test. When we have a test, you're always going to have a full sample test that looks very similar to the real test. You get 100 attempts on it. It doesn't count toward your grade. You basically get to try questions like the real test. Then there's a video of me going over every single question on the sample test, how it should be done. After that, there's a review session live for test one where I don't make you take a quiz on the things, but I go over questions like what will be on the test. So besides all the homeworks you've done that have questions like the test, you have a full sample test, you have another full test review session. There's going to be a lot of material in the test week, which gets you ready and lets you know what's coming on that test. Then we have the next unit that'll start where it goes the same general way. We present information for a couple weeks and have a test on the information. That continues until the end of the class when we have our final exam. As with the test, there will be a sample final exam. There will be videos going over every question on the sample final exam. You will be very prepared for what's coming your way when it comes time for the exam. Now, let me open up your syllabus and walk you through what's on there. Basically, it tells you what this class is. This class is Statistics 1. It's 3 credits in the fall. This online in-class session, Monday, 11 a.m. to 12:15, will be coming to you live from my basement with a whiteboard where I absolutely hope that people come to ask questions and let me help them through things. But again, you can always watch after the fact. This office location I've barely been at in the past 2 years. I've probably stopped by 3 or 4 times. I expect to be there more often this semester. I expect to be there pretty much every Wednesday on campus. I'm going to host office hours from campus. The way that I use office hours is basically it's just going to be a live video through Echo 360 of me at a whiteboard. I'm going to record the session so that anybody can watch it after the fact. But if nobody comes and asks questions, then there will be no recording. I'm only going to turn the recording on when students come with questions that they need answered. The hope is because homeworks are due on Wednesday, you guys will come with actual homework questions. I'll be able to share my screen, show how I do it in the Webassign system, hopefully give you real directed answers to anything that's giving you trouble. So last semester, this was very widely used. I would say that if I hosted 15 office hour sessions, 12 of them I used the full time and recorded the full time. I would say maybe in the early going there were less students because the material's not quite as hard and people are still getting used to it. But I really hope that if you have questions and if you are free during this hour, that you come and ask me the questions and that you let me help you directly in that way. General idea about the course, it's a first course in statistics where we're going to learn a bunch of the principles used in statistics. Statistics is incredibly important to the world today. It's used in a variety of fields, and I definitely think that you're in the right class if you're trying to become a successful member of society. It's something that you will need for your job in the future. As far as your resources that you need for the class, you have a Cengage Unlimited subscription. If you are in the class, if you're enrolled in Manor College, you do not need to pay any more money. It already is included. Please do not buy a subscription. So there may be troubles getting it to work. Again, you want to enter your username and password from your Manor account that was issued to you, and it should just automatically link the accounts. As far as an actual physical copy of the book, I do not recommend getting it. You can get it through Cengage cheaper, where they'll send it out to you for the cost to print because you have Cengage Unlimited. If you're somebody who likes having a physical copy of the book, that is a possibility. But realistically, that feels like something that's unnecessary because you have an ebook, because you have a way to access every page of the book online for free. It's something that I don't recommend doing. Basically, within the Webassign system, you can click on ebook and you can find any of these pages that you're trying to look at from the book to view on a computer. If you hate looking at things on a computer and you've been doing it for too long, I completely get it. There definitely are students who prefer to get the book and physically have it. Email me if you're not sure how to do it. Engage, and I'll try and walk you through it. As far as calculators, it's pretty important that you have a calculator with certain statistical buttons. The one that I recommend for this class is a TI-30X2S. I recommend it partially because it's pretty cheap. It costs less than 20 bucks on Amazon. I think most recently it was about $15. Basically, it has these buttons for the binomial distribution that we need that won't be on a lot of calculators. If you have a big graphing calculator that's nice already, you may need to use that for calculus or stat 2. It's something that's probably better for you to get used to now. So I would recommend using that if you plan to go on in math, and I will definitely show you how to use it. It's more powerful and more useful for this class. But if this is probably the high end of the math classes that you're going to need to take, you're definitely fine with just a TI-30X. The other good news about this TI-30X2Ss is that I convinced my boss that we needed some to be able to be taken out by students. So I have put 10 of them down at the library front desk where you can go to the library on campus and check it out for the whole semester. This is the first time that we're doing that. I want to see how many people use it. If all 10 get checked out, I have more that I can put on rent. So if it's a program that a lot of people use and a lot of people want these calculators, we'll get you these calculators to use. If it turns out that people already have their own calculators that they like, or that in general people aren't coming to campus to get these, that's perfectly fine, but do know that they're there and available for you. In the future, I plan on using them in my physical classes to have a classroom set with me, but for now, I decided that if we're not going to physically be in class, they should be used by my students anyway, so please come get one if you need a calculator. It will definitely be important to the course. This part just goes over the general idea of what we're trying to learn as we work through the course, and then we get to where your grade is calculated. What I previously talked about was the Cengage online homework. Cengage, Webassign, the names are used interchangeably. Basically, Cengage is the corporation that bought Webassign, the platform that hosts our homework. So your Cengage subscription entitles you to use Webassign. When we do new lessons in Canvas, there'll be accompanying Cengage online homework that's always due on Wednesday night at 11:59 p.m. If you do not get the problem set done by then for whatever reason, you can request an extension through the system. I will always extend the online homework. I will not extend tests. Your discussion board is due each week, also due on Wednesday nights. If for whatever reason you don't get it done and get full credit for getting it on time, turning them in late gets you 8 out of 10 on the grade. The in-class assignments again are presented as quizzes in Canvas, but I will literally show you every answer to the quiz. If you watch the in-class session, either live or remote or asynchronously afterwards, you will have all of the answers. The tests are 40% of your grade, so there's 4 tests, basically worth 10% each. The test dates are listed on the syllabus, subject to change. None of them changed any of the past 2 years. I really expect all the test dates to be right where they say they are. The final exam is 20% of your grade. I have multiple times in the past had students who did the entire course and just didn't do the final exam, which is incredibly frustrating. I emailed them, I tried to chase them down. They weeks afterwards told me, oh, they didn't realize there was a final exam. And at that point, there's nothing I can do. They got a 0 on 20% of their grade. Please do not be that person. Please understand that yes, there is a final exam in this course. The final exam is cumulative, but you will have materials to review for it. I think it's very fair compared to what came before, and in general, students who make it to the final exam do very well. This is just the general grading scale that I copied for all of Manor, telling how I report the final grades. For attendance, I have to put it into the system every Sunday, so I look at the Wednesday before to see if you turned in a discussion board, if you turned in an in-class assignment, if you attempted Cengage online homework. As long as you're making attempts at those assignments, you will be marked present for that week. The very bottom of the syllabus is the most important part. It has the weekly course schedule where it tells you everything that's going on in the class. The first week, which is really just one day, Tuesday into Wednesday, I'm asking you to watch the video that you're watching right now and to take the quiz by Wednesday at midnight on the material presented. So all of the things that I'm going over in this video are asked as questions within that quiz. As long as you've watched this video, hopefully you have all the answers. If you're not sure on one of the answers, feel free to email me and I'll go over what the question's answer is. The first real week of the course, here's the information that we're going to be going over. This is already up and available. It's not due until Wednesday the 15th, but if you want to get started, you can absolutely watch the lectures, work through the classworks, and try the online homework for these first two sections. In this last column, where I list pages and numbered problems, that is there just as extra problems to try if you're working with a tutor, if you're working on your own and just want more things to attempt, like the problems that you're being asked to do in class. Similar to the classwork, they're never collected. I don't need you to do these. Just there to show you, here's other problems like the ones that we're doing. Any of these page numbers line up to the ebook, so you can go into the electronic version of the book, find these pages, and find problems that are extra sample problems. As we work through these units, we then arrive at this first test week. For a test week, there is no in-class assignment. There is no discussion board. All there is the test that's due that Wednesday night by 11:59. Do not start the test at 11:30. At exactly 11:59, it'll close and it'll give you a 0 on all the problems you didn't attempt. It must be completed and turned in all questions by 11:59. When midnight hits, it's going to show every student in the class the full key and all the answers to the test, which will make it not possible for any student in the class to take that same version of the test. I do have an alternate version of the test that I make available the following Monday for students who missed the test for whatever reason. You will have to email me to be eligible to take the alternate version. You will have to essentially tell me what happened, that you couldn't make the test. In general, I let people take the alternate version for whatever reason they missed the test, but believe me, you are much better off taking the actual test and the actual test date. Again, things go very quickly in this class, especially after the first test. I try and onboard you somewhat slowly, but you will not be wanting to fall behind as the tests start coming. Again, everything is outlined here. The past 3 semesters, I've done everything exactly how it was laid out in the calendar. Obviously, things can happen that would require me to rearrange stuff, but I'm saying it's very likely that these are the exact dates, everything that happens in the class. So please scroll through there, take note of particularly when the test dates are, and let me know if you have any questions on any of that. I think that's basically everything that I wanted to cover. Let me just go into this quiz real quick and make sure that there's nothing that I forgot. Main tab I covered. Following graded assignment types is the biggest part of your calculation. Tests are the biggest part of your grade. Lecture link, video links are located in the module. There's the second tab on any lesson page. When are the classwork assignments in the module due? Never. They're there to give examples. Can I extend online homeworks if I miss a due date? I will extend any online homework up to the date of the test. Test must be taken by the due date. It cannot extend a test for any reason. What's the best way to ask me about a question you're struggling with on homework? This I may not have stressed as much as I should have. You should be using the Ask Your Teacher feature in Webassign. Basically, the great thing about the Ask Your Teacher feature is it sends me the question you're being asked, the answer you're trying to enter, and the answer that the system wants. The reason that's so important is because in statistics, there's a lot of times where formatting is the issue. There'll be questions where they want you to answer where it's everything's answered in parentheses with commas. And if you accidentally forget a parentheses or a comma when you're listing things, it'll mark it wrong. So you might sit there frustrated for a half an hour saying, I know I'm doing everything right. Why am I getting this wrong? When you send it to me as an Ask Your Teacher, I see, oh, wait, you put a stray comma at the end that it's not allowing you to do. I'll write back a message, hey, just delete this comma and it'll be right. Or maybe it's a bigger problem and you're missing how to get a mathematical answer. I see your answer is wrong and I can try and work through what's going wrong with you. But basically, letting me see the question the way it's asked and the answer that they want and the way it's phrased is much, much easier for me in order to give you help and show you what's going wrong. So please try and use that Ask Your Teacher feature if you have a question that you're not sure on within the online homework. It'll send it to me as an email where I can see everything I need to see to do my best job giving you. How do I use office hours while we're fully online? So during your scheduled office hours, I'll have a live conference where I'm at a whiteboard ready to answer your questions. Do I need to attend the live class in order to complete the in-class assignment? You can take the quiz without attending the conference, but it will have all the answers if you view it. In order to link the course Canvas page to Webassign only homework, what do I need to do? Click on the first assignment in the Modules tab, use your original manner, email, and password to log in. Can I turn in a discussion board post late? Yes, but you will get an 8 out of 10 instead of 10 out of 10. I think that covers everything. Again, I love helping students. I love questions. Please let me know if there's anything I can do for you. Welcome to the course. I think we're going to have a great semester.